What's up, YouTube land? Xeno Gaming here, and welcome to episode number 4 of my F1 2021 My Team series. And here today we're going to be at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix for the Baku City Street Circuit. So this is going to be one of the tough races, as it is a street circuit, but it's also going to be interesting. I'm not sure how our car will be suited for it. So heading into the weekend, we've got some notes here, and we got the front wing development, we've got the tyre wear development. Unfortunately, we didn't get the durability development, but that's fine. We will redevelop that and move on. So, but yeah, the front wing and hopefully gives us some good front downforce. Won't really help us around this circuit too much. The tyre wear, hopefully, yeah, the car's just better on the tyres compared to the other teams. So we'll see how that all unfolds. So there's the weather. There's no real weather threat for the weekend, so that is a good news. And we're just going to quickly redevelop that IC material that failed. So let's get into the qualifying now. And it should be, hopefully for us, we can. The aim is to get through the Q2 every session, and we should be able to challenge for that. That's the hope. But as we now jump here, this is our first lap here in Q2, and we are going to come across the line to 1 minute 40.0. You can see we're 0.7 of a second off George Russell. We're quite a bit off the pace, and then as we come around, same set of tyres, and we improved the lap by 2.5 tenths here, and that jumps us ahead of our teammate Lundgaard, a 39.7 into 15th position. But now on the second set of tyres and our final run here in Q1, we're going to show the full lap as we go back down the third gear for turn 1 and heading into turn 2. Going to be once again in third gear, and now getting a decent exit there on the way up to turn 3, looking for the 100 meter board on the right hand side, and also again back down to third gear for turn 3. Using a lot of inside curb, the car unsettled a little bit there, lost a bit of time by hitting that curb. And then back down the third again for turn 4. And what gear we're going to use for turn 5? What do you know? Gear 3. Using the inside curb here to open up the corner as much as we can and getting on the power as early as possible. Gained really good time there. Now heading here into turn 7, and we're going to use second gear for 7, but up to the castle section now. Third gear, throw it in here, hope you don't hit the barrier. And then getting really patient here and getting on the throttle as early as possible for the run up to turn 15, and this is the trickiest braking point on the course and on the lap. Braking around just after around 70 meters out from the corner, back down the third, and then the run to the last corner here. Essentially, very important to get a really good exit, because if you don't get a good exit, you'll lose time all the way up to turn 1. And we're 3.5 tenths up here, and as we go through the left to right here, we're 3.5 tenths up, which is really good. Almost 4 tenths up, so yeah, decent lap here. We're currently in last, but this will jump us up the orders. Hopefully, where does that put us? It does not put us through to Q2, unfortunately. Lewis Hamilton goes quickest in that session, particularly, but unfortunately for us, we will be out in Q1. So we're going to be 19th in the grid, along with Russell, Schumacher, Mazepin, Latifi, and our teammate Lundgaard qualifies last. So it just doesn't look like our car has the pace here. But anyway, we'll have to do better in the race. But now we'll hand it over to David Crofty for the race introduction.
Welcome to Baku. This was the arena, if you think back to 2017, of one of the most eventful races of modern history, with controversy behind the safety car, last-second overtakes, and a historic podium for Williams and for Lance Stroll. So let's find out what lies in store for us this year. It's time for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. With 20 turns and a length of 3.7 miles, Baku City Circuit in the heart of the Azerbaijan capital is a real test of a driver's endurance, patience and precision. 90-degree corners through Sector 1 lead into a tightening uphill sprint as we start to circle around the old city. Then a 1.4-mile chase flat out through Sector 3 towards the finish line. It's just about time to go to the track for the beginning of the race, but before we do, Anthony Davidson, what types of strategy do you think we can expect for today's event?
Well, there's a lot that both the driver and the team have to keep in mind when going into a race. The tyres, fuel, energy recovery systems, the list goes on and on. But I think the key to today's victory will come down to the pit stop strategy. Come in too soon and you might find yourself needing more than one stop. Too late and you're putting yourself at a disadvantage by spending longer on worn tyres.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Valtteri Bottas lines up on pole position and Lando Norris lines up alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid we have Hamilton, Ricciardo, Max Verstappen and Perez, Sainz, Leclerc, Vettel and Pierre Gasly, Tsunoda, Stroll, Fernando Alonso and Raikkonen, Ocon, Giovinazzi, Mick Schumacher and George Russell, Jackson, Mazepin, Latifi and Christian Lundgaard. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head to trackside for today's race.
Interesting grid line up there. The McLarens have been very, very quick all weekend, but this is going to be the strategy for the Baku Azerbaijan Grand Prix, and we're going to switch this strategy up to start on the medium tyre and finish on the soft tyre. But yeah, the McLarens have been very quick this weekend, and they've been quicker than the Red Bull car. Even their car just suits this track really well, and even Norris out-qualifying Hamilton, which is really interesting. But anyway, for us, we're 19th on the grid. Got to start the medium tyre, try and finish this race on the soft tyre, and it's really important to get a good start and have a clean opening few laps, and just try and make as much progress as we can. But anyway, here we go now, ready to line up for the grid for the start of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. And here we go, 5 red lights. And let's go here in Baku, and a really good start. We have to go around and Mick Schumacher. He hasn't made a good start. Russell and I split him now. We're going to go around the outside of Russell, Giovinazzi as well on our inside, and we managed to clear them both here. And Russell gets past Giovinazzi as well. We've got the two Alpines and Raikkonen going 3 wide, and it looks like Raikkonen's also throwing up the inside of Stroll. Great racing there from the Finn, and a little bit of yellow flags in the back. I'm not sure exactly what occurred, but now Alonso trying to slipstream Ocon. Alonso's made a very, very poor start in this race, and I believe he was starting around 12th. And yeah, not a good start for the Spaniard, but here's Ocon trying to get back past Kimi Raikkonen. It looks like he's done it too. Good move by Esteban Ocon around the outside of turn 4, and now he is into 13th position. So for ourselves, we've made up 3 positions from 19th in the grid. We've gotten ahead of Schumacher, Giovinazzi and Russell also made a good start from 18th. So yeah, we now ahead of all the cars we really should be ahead of, except for Kimi Raikkonen. We're almost thrown into the barrier there through the castle section. And that's going to cost us to Alonso. We now haven't really got his toe heading down the main straight, and we've got Russell all over the back of us, so that could hurt us heading into turn 1. But yeah, we've got all the cars behind us currently that we should be ahead of, except for Kimi Raikkonen, who's having a really good start to the season for Alfa Romeo, and looks like he's kind of the best of the backmarker group at the minute. Here comes George though in his Williams, and what can he do here? Valtteri Bottas goes P1, and now what can Russell do here in his with the slipstream? He's very close, 4 tenths behind. He's not close enough. Giovinazzi's actually closer, but he doesn't get through. We're now going to move here to lap 5 as we've pulled away from the cars behind, and you got Raikkonen here having a go at Lance Stroll, who's not having a good time of things, I think, on the hard tyre, and Raikkonen makes the move stick here, and I've got a really good run on Alonso here with the DRS, got it really close out of turn, really good exit out of turn 2, and now we're going around the outside. We get later on the brakes because we had the Avenue 2, and we get past him, and now all of a sudden we're looking in quite a good position against Stroll, and we go down the inside of Lance Stroll, so we make 2 positions there in 2 corners, and we move up to 14th position. So yeah, Stroll was so worried about Raikkonen that I was able to outbrake him and go around the outside and have the high ground for turn 4. But now anyway, moving to lap 8 here, and we've got the 2 Mercedes cars that have already pitted in this race, and here's Hamilton trying to overtake us here into turn 1. We still haven't been able to get past Raikkonen, and Hamilton, he was past us there. I'm not sure what happened there, because he kind of just let us back ahead, and I was like, okay, if you don't want to go ahead, I'll take the position. So that's going to cost Hamilton a lap more behind us, but now he's going to quite easily here on lap 9 take the position. So I'm going to jump in his slip here, and for a second I thought Bottas was going to come through, but he doesn't come through. And I'm going to try and use Hamilton to get past Kimi Raikkonen. So as we head into turn 3, we'll see if Hamilton can make a move on Kimi or not. So we don't make the best exit out of turn 2 ourselves. Bottas is quite close behind us, but he wasn't able to get past. But Hamilton wasn't able to make a move into 3, but he makes the move into turn 15 here. And as you see, there's contact between the two. Hamilton goes into the outside wall. Very risky move from Lewis Hamilton here, and that is him ahead of Kimi Raikkonen into 5th place. But now we're right behind Kimi Raikkonen. That little scuffle with Hamilton has given us the opportunity we need to pass the Finnish driver and our rival. And Bottas is behind us as well. He's going to pass us. He's right behind us as well. But I'm getting a great slip here on Raikkonen. He's got DRS. Hamilton's coming into the pit, so he has knocked his front wing and needs a new one. We're going around the outside of Kimi Raikkonen. Bottas is going to try and follow us around the outside as well. And I believe he does, because he goes around the outside of Kimi Raikkonen as well. Great move by Valtteri Bottas. But we get past Raikkonen for 4th place, and now coming into turn 3, we don't have DRS yet, and Bottas is right behind us, and it's going to be an easy move for Valtteri. And I'm not going to bother defending here, because this is not our race. He's already pitted. I need to still make my pit stop. So we're on lap 11 here, and I've got 6 more laps to go on these. So as you can see, front tyres are really in good condition. The rears are a little bit warm, but coming through the castle section here on lap 12, we make a massive mistake.
Check your MFD for a new strategy option.
Massive mistake here. We've put it in the barrier. Not sure how I did it, to be honest. I just lapsed in concentration, I guess, at the worst possible time on the track, and that's really throwing our strategy off, because we're going to do another 5-6 laps there and then come in for the soft tyre. So now we've got Alonso and Raikkonen actually pitting for the hard tyre, so now we're going to have to go onto the hard tyre ourselves. But the only thing is, we're going to be a lot further behind those guys, because we have to change the front wing, and we actually did lose a lot of time in that half lap. That's why they were ahead of me in the pit lane, because we lost about 5 positions coming out of the coming back to the pit lane, which was just through all the high speed corners, which was really frustrating. And now we're in 13th place, last place, 13 on lap 13. Sorry about that. But yeah, next lap round, Lundgaard and Latifi are in the pits, and we're able to get past them, obviously. And then next lap round, Mazepin's in the pits, so we get past him. And yeah, you got to note there, Russell's 6 seconds ahead. He was 7 seconds ahead, so we are slowly gaining on Russell. There's Schumacher in the pits. He's on the medium tyre, so he could be coming at us. You got Gasly, Vettel in the pit lane, and Lance Stroll exiting the pit lane here in 15th position. So that's that. And then you got Perez and Sainz in the pit lane. So just every lap, someone was in the pit lane. So we're all of a sudden back up to 14th position here without actually making an overtake. And now we've got Perez behind us here. And you can see Mick Schumacher's come quite quickly. This is down lap 21. You can see we've closed up to 2 seconds behind Russell, but we're not quite there yet. We are closing on him. And Perez, I'm not sure why he's all the way back down to 15th. He's not had a great race, but he overtakes us for 14th position. And yeah, that's a little bit of a shame for his race. But yeah, we're back down to 15th. Not much we can do about it. But you can see here, next end of the lap, and Perez is actually going to retire from the race here with an engine issue. You can see his car, engine's gone, blowing up, full of smoke. But we've got Mick Schumacher right now, DRS here. He's going to be extremely close. And I really didn't realise that. And then I seen him coming here, and green flag is again. And Schumacher goes around the outside, but we managed to outbrake him into turn 1 and hold on to position 4 now. But we've got Russell 2.3 seconds ahead, and the goal is to close up to him and get the DRS, because Mick could be a threat to pass us on the next lap, even though we are in a quick car. Mazepin also on the medium tyres, but there's the message of Perez out of the Grand Prix. We're now going to skip ahead to lap 25. We've finally caught George Russell. We've been able to hold off Mick Schumacher for now. and he hasn't really made a threat to us. But yeah, we finally caught George Russell, and at a really good time as well. Last lap of the Grand Prix is about to commence, and we're riding the slipstream. I'm using all my battery possible that I need. Open the DRS, we're close enough here. Russell defends a little bit to the inside. We take the racing line, and we easily pass him here into turn 1 to take 13th position. So P13, and I'm going to quickly just, I thought it was going to be a little bit quicker, but we're going to cut here now. Not much here, about one corner. And you can see here, if you just have a look at the mini-map, you can see there's no cars. And then there's the two McLarens. Look how close the two McLarens are coming here on the last lap. And they are, believe it or not, 1-2. And who's going to win the Grand Prix for McLaren? It's going to be Lando Norris. Lando Norris picks up his first career Formula 1 Grand Prix victory here in Baku. Well done, Lando. Well done, Baku, for producing that result. The McLaren cars had really, really good pace here this weekend. We're going to come across the line to finish in 13th position. But Lando Norris, your winner of the Baku Grand Prix. Esteban Ocon, your driver of the day. And David Crofty here now to wrap that all up.
Here we are then, it's victory in Azerbaijan. Great work from the whole team here at the track and back at the factory as well. And some pretty handy driving for good measure. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
I'd say it was down once again to good, consistent driving, nailing the corners, working to the track conditions and perfecting the team's strategies. They got all of these things right today, and the results speak for themselves.
Our drivers are making their way out for the podium celebrations, and it's going to be McLaren picking up the winner's trophy. Congratulations to the entire team for that fantastic performance. It's a great result for Lewis Hamilton, who moves further ahead at the top of the table. Let's see what effect this result has had on the drivers' standings. After an incredible day of racing, who was your driver of the day, Ant?
Let's give it to Esteban Ocon. That was a commanding performance today. Very impressive indeed.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. Mercedes continue to extend their lead. There was also a strong showing from the McLaren team today as they make their way up the standings. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time? Be sure to join us again as we continue to bring you the latest excitement in Formula 1.
So there you have it, the Azerbaijan Grand Prix once again delivers another interesting result, with Lando Norris winning from his teammate Daniel Ricciardo by half a tenth, 51 thousandths of a second, with Valtteri Bottas in P3, Leclerc taking 4th, Hamilton, despite his little issue, getting back up to 5th. Verstappen having a really, really quiet and poor race, only finishing in 6th place. Lance Stroll, remember, he came out ahead of us. He ends up taking 9th. Ocon finishing 8th. Alonso scores a point. So you remember, we were ahead of Fernando Alonso, and we would have had soft tyres. I think we could have finished 8th, maybe even potentially 7th. I'm not sure how good our pace would have been at the end, but I'm quite confident we could have scored points today if I didn't make that mistake and crash into the barrier. So that is unfortunate. Our teammate Christian Lundgaard only beats Nicholas Latifi, so we're quite a way ahead of him, even though we had to change the front wing. But the pace in the race was actually pretty solid. A lot of cars doing 3 stops. I'm not sure what happened and why they have done that. It was really a 1-stop race all the way. It didn't matter which tyre you started on. Don't know. Some drivers have done 2 stops. Just different strategies, I guess, throughout the field. But yeah, a solid race from us today. But unfortunately, that is all. It is 13th position. But in the driver standings now, Lewis Hamilton at the top takes a 20-point lead in the standings, and Lando Norris jumps up to 3rd with his victory here, with Leclerc behind, now moving up to 4th, and Bottas moving up to 5th. Alonso finally dropping down through 6th. Ocon and Alonso have picked up really good points so far this season for Alpine after 4 races. I think they have scored more points in the first 4 races of this season here than they have in real life Formula 1. So, yeah, good job by them. You can see in the constructors, Mercedes are quite comfortable at the minute with Red Bull and Verstappen underperforming at the minute. McLaren moving to third. Alpine a little bit ahead of Ferrari, who are quite comfortable, from AlphaTauri, who are quite ahead of Aston Martin, who've had a poor start to the season. And then us, with 2 points, they're still sitting in 8th. So, yeah, overall a really decent race weekend, but once again we don't score points. It's really difficult to score points with the pace of the car, but we probably should have, with the way the first lap went and the position we got ourselves into. Really disappointing when I crashed it. I still honestly don't know what I did. I think I just turned in that little bit too early. I don't think I lost the rear end or anything. Yeah, just a really bit lapse of concentration. About poor mistake to make, but it is what it is. We get a little bit of money here, or lose a bit of money on the damage done to the car throughout the weekend. But we've got $3.41 million in the bank, and I look to spend that. So coming here post race, we're going to quickly make another front wing development, and then, yeah, as I said, I'm going to look to spend the money. So I'm going to use it on resource point generation to hopefully help develop the car a little bit quicker for the powertrain. And then we're also going to do the same for the durability. And don't know what's taking my time. Here we go. We're going to do the same for the durability. 1,500,000. You know what I'm trying. It costs a lot of money. But yeah, point regeneration, $1,500,000. There we go. Here's a little look at the performance graph. You can see where we're sitting, right around Alpine, a little bit ahead of Haas and Williams. So Alfa Romeo. So our competition should be the Alfa Romeo drivers. And now looking at the driver market here, I'm weighing up our options for next year. I don't think we're going to be keeping on Lundgaard, but I'm not sure yet exactly. And I've got my eye on one of the older drivers, either Sebastian Vettel or Fernando Alonso. I think a bit of experience will help just getting more resource points into the team. So Alonso, good experience, obviously elite experience at 99, and also really good pace. Vettel's got the advantage in the pace here, but not so much in the experience department. But anyway, guys, I hope you all enjoyed today's episode. Please leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, leave your comments down in the comment section down below. And I'll see you all for the next episode at the Canadian Grand Prix. Until then, I hope you all enjoyed it, and goodbye.